Joel Sartori, a National Geographic photographer and founder of the Photo Ark. And you'll never guess where I am. Vandenberg Space Force Base. Beautiful, isn't it? You probably don't know this, but the Department of Defense is actually one of the greatest stewards of wildlife in the world. That's because they need natural areas just like this one in order to conduct realistic testing and training.
The Vandenberg Space Force Base is absolutely vital to our nation's defense. It is the only location in the Department of Defense where we can operationally test intercontinental ballistic missiles for our nation's nuclear deterrent capability, put rockets into space at a minimal cost, and to launch our missiles into our operational test locations in the Pacific Ocean is unmatched. It's amazing how we have side-by-side missions that are, generally speaking, high-risk operations. You can launch a huge rocket with lots of high-explosive fuel and just literally feet down the road, you could have endangered species habitat that is coexisting in the same place. And that's amazing to me that we can create an environment where these animals can continue to thrive in their natural habitat while at the same time conduct these missions.
Go to most military bases, it's not all craters and scorched earth. It's actually a working, breathing landscape, and often the only habitat left for threatened and endangered species, more than 500 of them on Department of Defense lands across the United States and U.S. territories. And one of the biggest bonuses? The conservation of these wild places. It's a win-win for the military and for nature. And the Department of Defense means it when they say, we care. This is part of our mission as well. Vandenberg's living proof. Think about what the rest of the coastline looks like in Southern California. It doesn't look like this. Just about 100,000 acres of intact habitat for threatened and endangered species. It's an imperative that they save nature, and they work every day to do so.
Here are tidewater gobies. They're not very big. The habitat that support these little critters is rare.
With the Department of Defense being such a large landowner, I see them really as stewards of putting back the pieces that have been taken apart. I mean, we have almost 100,000 acres here.
There we go. Okay, so we got a nice female here.
Taking care of the least among us is a big deal to me. And it's why we do these pictures this way, because they're all the same size. The goby's as big as a tiger in these pictures.
The way that Joel is able to capture the personality of these animals, they shine when you do the portrait photography like Joel's doing. It was critical that we share the military mission that we're supporting first, and through Joel to help tell the story of just the awesome critters that we manage on a daily basis.
Overall, the Department of Defense manages nearly 27 million acres of land in all 50 states and U.S. territories. These folks are here to support the DoD mission, but they can do that while protecting the natural resources. They can provide training in a realistic environment while protecting threatened and endangered species, as well as all other animals around them.
So Vandenberg is unique because we have a lot of acreage as like buffering, but it's also really great habitat for other species of animals, and they are federally required to protect them, so it's actually really beneficial for the animal and the species.
We're going to put a turtle in there, and I'm going to go in there with that turtle to photograph it.
You're on your own.
Right out of central casting.
This is the sea cliff buckwheat, and this is the host plant of the buckwheat blue butterfly that you guys came here to see. I actually found this one on base in 2005.
You discovered a new species right here on base.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There's lots of new species in areas like this if you look small.
It's no accident that these lands look as good as they do. act as well as they do, save species like they do. In a world grown weary and worn down, these places offer hope. Hope for the survival of species, hope for habitats, inspiration for all of us. Saving nature going forward must be intentional. This place proves it. It's as it's always been, thanks to time, diligence, and perseverance. They're saving species every day here. That gives me hope.